We are back to do the Divine Masculine update for July. Those of you who are new, very warm welcome. Those of you who are returning, welcome back, guys. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. It does help the videos get out. You don't have to donate to the channel, but if you do wish to, the link will be directly below. And if you're wanting a booking, the link again will be below. I'm a psychic medium as well as a twin flame. Who is in union? Living the dream. Hi, Andrew. How are you? What's been happening with you, my friend? Andrew is one of our tribe members. He's been with us watching for a long time. He's been an important subscriber. Now, I'm going to do this reading a little bit different because some of you are in communication. Hi, Rachel. Some of you aren't. And, you know, a lot of the readers don't connect that way, okay? So, and I do feel that is important too. You know, part of working with your blocks, you've been up to no good. I haven't had time to be up to no good. I wish I'd been having time to be up to no good. I've been thinking about that, but I haven't had much time to. Part of the readings that are coming through, you've got to pick your tribe and you've got to pick who you actually get your information from, number one. And we as TFs know that, okay? And you'll change at times and you'll be connecting in with a pocket of people that give readings, and then you'll change again and you'll connect in with another group. And that's okay because it's part of your transformative state. It's very natural for that to occur. I do know some of my clientele, I was tuning into a particular client and I've got to email her because her energy has shifted, and I do feel she'll go through a quiet state because she's having a walk-in, so to speak, and a transformation. And you'll know that with working with me, for those of you who have been working with me for a long time. We're going to check in with the two groups because there's two groups at the moment. Those of you who are in communication and those of you who aren't. And again, each situation is going to be different because even if you're in communication, your twin can be with somebody. Even if you're not in communication, your twin can be with somebody. So it's technically more groups, but again, you'd need a private reading for that. The collective energy of them at the moment is deep meditation. Now, they are in their consciousness, but again, it does depend on the wave you are. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because you'll go through various stages, and the stages you go through is all very interconnected, which is on my other channel I have, Twin Flame Alchemist to Union. Hopefully by August I will start doing at least a video a day to a week, which will be informative videos to help you understand the process of the Twin Flame journey. But it'll be anything to do with numbers, numerology, animal totems, the stages in the journey. I will also talk about my journey and what's been happening, and I'll put it on that channel. But I'll put notifications up on this one. And I still do cover the TF path on this channel. Now, for those of you in communication, I'll pull one set of cards. And those of you who aren't, I might actually pull three. Okay, in communication. Bear with me. I'm channeling as I shuffle, and I know when to. Okay, there seems to be some blockages for those of you who are in communication with your masculine. And the blockages are that they're going through a transformative state. Anything that's coming up in a sense of a trigger for them at the moment is I'm feeling like they've evolved and they've changed, but they're very fearful. They're very fearful because they're in their acknowledgement and awakened state of it, but they're dealing with the blockages that they had in their belief systems. Now, this Cancer Moon transit for them, the eclipse, is going to bring all these things in a resurrection sense to the surface. So the trigger points for them spiritually are going to come up, and it'll be connected to kin, feminine, family, females. This is a karmic purge, but it's also manifesting a new belief system, a new way of looking at things, a new way of looking at it after the fact. Because it's needing to shift. So the Cancer eclipse is going to bring this purge up for them. I Doesn't necessarily have to be a purge. It can actually be merely an acknowledgement of where the pain body experience came from. And they got personal boundaries in reverse. So, you know, when it comes to this, it's about choices, assertiveness, and empowerment. So those of you in communication, hey, Dale, it feels as though they feel the power is outside of themselves. Yes and no. Now, again, it's breaking down to a bloody 7, and this come up in all the other readings that I've done general. So it's breaking down to a 7. They've got this card crowning their energy in reverse. Now, their unwillingness to proceed forward is because they're in meditation, they're in hermit mode. Now, I feel as though they're tuning into some scenarios that have happened to them. Now, in the past, it may have been people overstepped the mark with them, and it made them feel very anxious. Currently, I feel if they're in a connection, you know, regardless of what they're doing, those of you who are in communication with them at the moment, hi, Dale, it feels like they're anxious, really, really anxious, and it's bringing a trigger point up and it's leading into the second. Now, it's going to proceed forward for the rest of the month, but I'll do more updates during the month. Hello, everyone. Now, again, egoic mind, personal boundaries, looking outside of self. They've got the 2 of coins. Now, many of them, they're juggling too many things. They're feeling overwhelmed. They were working very hard. They were trying, again, when we tend to be working through the third eye, we're healing, but the Cancer moon energy of the eclipse of turning over that new leaf is the avoidance. You know, there was a 3 to 4 week pocket where many feminines and masculines were extremely busy. Others of you had no forward movement at all. That busyness was going to shift because it's almost like, you know, it depends on your personality. Sometimes our personality can come through where we keep super busy. And yes, naturally, these things do come about. But this more feels like avoidance of subject matters. So the avoidance of those things is coming to a head where it's going to hit a lull, and that's moving into the 2nd of July. With that energy of fatigue, the third eye is going to be activated more so. And a lot of where people have been unhealthily dealing with this individual, this pocket of TF's masculines, it's going to cause them to have to see where the personal boundaries need to come from. But the power comes from within. A lot of them are detaching from certain connections. A lot of them are feeling out of alignment when it comes to, how do I put it? People, places, and things. So it feels like an avoidance of it going into hermit mode, going into their shell, because people are overstepping the mark with them, and it's fatigued them so much that they could be projecting quite heavily towards you. Now, again, they've got the Queen of Cups. They've got the Psychic card. So in their higher consciousness, they're getting the psychic downloads. Like they're being drawn to do this. They're avoiding certain people, places, and things. It's making them extremely anxious. These personal boundaries are all coming towards them in a sense of overwhelming frequency to bombard them, okay? It's like, you haven't heard the call. So what happens then? Universe gives us several ways to do this, and it's usually an aha moment. After the aha moment, it's an example, and then it's like, shit, that was an MS. The third one is, well, we're going to really push the point here. So they're really, really, these groups of masculines whom you guys are in communication with, whom you guys aren't in connection with, and it can be for 2 reasons. You will see a mirror on your side of the fence, or you have no one on your side, they have no one on their side, but you're spiritually doing the same thing. You will simultaneously be doing the same thing, and you can shift that energy by looking at your side of the fence. It's oddly the way it fixes it, and it can happen within 24 hours. At the moment, feminines, look at your personal boundaries with people. All of a sudden, are you becoming extremely assertive? You know, are you more so? Are you looking at yourself and going, wow, I'm having to really push these people back because they're really not listening to me? And then really releasing it and going, I don't have to fight this hard. Thank you for anyone in the house that's liking, because this video does get shared that way with the comments and the likes. It's the only way these videos get sent around now. Now, I'm feeling as though with this 5 coming through, whenever you're saying 5s, They know, number one, when twos come up, I'm seeing masculine frequency. These two areas they've been looking at of how to change it or dealing with too many things on their plate, maybe even having two jobs due to finances. They know this can't go on forever. Okay? They also feel with this card coming through, they're hoping to God they can make it through the other side. Now, fives denote change. Now, this change they're hoping to happen, they feel is outside of their personal power. Because at a point, the personal power was given away. And now they're wanting to retrieve it back. And they're like, how the shit did I get myself in this mess? And it's looking messy, right? This balance that they're trying to bring back has been something that they have been working on for a long time. They'd hoped it was just a trend, you know, something that was going on. Now it's feeling as though this is an ongoing thing and it's coming to a pressure cooker point. They also feel quite manipulated. They also don't want to invest in the situation, person, place, or thing any further because they're feeling as though it's manipulation and they want this fresh start. They want this change. They're hoping they can recruit to gain the energy to communicate this truth. They're learning a great deal through this, you know, and in their employment sector, they're very good at what they do. They have a lot of skills. They do know that they deserve to be number one. And again, with the personal boundaries, it's also self-worth coming through. So they're learning that they need to follow their intuition. They actually saw this coming, but it's worse than what they thought it was going to be. And it is a very heavy energy. I do feel some of them are really weeping. Some of them feel quite overwhelmed by the betrayals, the hurts, the deceit, where their life has come to. And I do feel it's a purge of their life of what they had hoped was going to happen, and the pain of where they've got to at this point. Some of them may be living in a way that is connected to their blockages. So if your twin is with somebody that has children, that is a karmic energy or a soulmate energy, because at the end stages you tend to attract a soulmate energy, and it's so you can actually learn your self-worth. This scenario of what they're attracting, and again, it can be a person, place, or thing. The reason they've attracted it is because it was a block in their belief system of what they were worth. So it comes into their life to heal that paradigm. They also feel they're not invested in it, but they need to heal it. So it's coming through in a gentler form because it's a very touchy area for them in their life. So if in fact they had wanted family and all of a sudden they're living in a connection with a family, it's they're healing that paradigm and they're healing that pain body experience. But they also, you know, in their own life, they have the education, the knowledge, the wisdom, that it's giving them an energy of self-worth to have the self-esteem that they need to continue on. They do know that they have to let this go. And again, I'm feeling by the Capricorn eclipse and the Cancer eclipse, this is something that's coming up for them. These things are coming up to heal it, for them to take their power back. It is a huge balancing act for them. I do feel they're focused on way too many things at the moment, and it's a temporary pause, but there can be a lot of anger, resentment, and guilt coming up. They're not passionate connected to this situation, this person, place, or thing. And this isn't in relation to you. This is in relation to lessons they're learning at the moment. So the way they're projecting towards you can be due to these scenarios going on. They feel as though they want the power back in their life. You know, that they're wanting risky behavior. They're wanting adventure, but it's not in a lower frequency mode. Yes, during the Neptune retrograde, that can happen, but I'm not feeling similar to 2017. There was a lot of energy coming through with Chiron being in Pisces, if I can recall. That energy was different. I don't know. The energy in 2017 was different. We did have for the last 3 weeks a slight energy of 2017. It's lightening up, but it's almost like a very anxious feeling of what's coming now. You know, what now? What's going to happen now from here? It's a pause for them to take divine action. The way they may be relating to you, there can be a lot of people around them that's jealous. There can also be a feeling towards you of projection when they're communicating. They feel you've achieved more, and you feel they could achieve more, and it's a lot of projection back and forward. So with the communication and an egoic state, the way you're seeing things and the way they're seeing things is the same, except what you're projecting on the outside is what they're feeling on the inside. They do want to free themselves from this. They feel like they're in a Ferris wheel. They're going around and around in circles. Bear with me. I'm going to pull some karmic energy as well. And this can be the lessons or direct dynamics that's going on for those of you in communication. And I'll also do the same for those of you who aren't in communication. Okay. Shuffle away. I'm going to use a different deck for that. I feel like those of you in communication, they've got two situations. If this is a karmic energy they're dealing with, they've got two situations that they're dealing with. There's two ways this situation can go. There's two areas they're tying up in their life. It may be work and family. It might be work and love. But there's two major areas that are being dealt with, and they're not enjoying this. They really hate this transition. They're not liking what's going on. They're actually getting a lot of psychic downloads when it comes to an ex, when it comes to their childhood and a parent figure, but it's someone from the past. They intuitively know how this is going to go. This can be towards abundance. This can be towards finances, and I feel they're concerned of that impact. They're wanting more abundance in their life, but this can be in a heart-related way, that they're wanting to invest correctly now. They felt they invested incorrectly. They also may be working very hard, and it can be causing jealousy. But this is more not in relation to you, in relation to a past tense, people, places, and things. But they're working very hard. They're on their pentacles, and you know, this money, they're wanting more money in their life. So they're being cautious about finances and love. They're no longer willing to be sad about a situation. They've purged it and let it go in a belief sense. And if they haven't yet, this is really what's coming through, and it is stemming from childhood with the Cancer eclipse coming through. Hi. Okay, for those of you who have not reunited with your twin, but you physically are in communication, it's really weird. This is always the way it works. When you're seeing fives, it means changes. Now, if you start seeing 555, it's also that a change is about to come. Now, sometimes tower moments need to happen in order for this change to happen. Sometimes it's merely in your energy sense that you need to detach. And we ask ourselves, what does detachment mean? Like, I've stopped. What are you talking about? There's many various stages of detachment. Detachment can be when you're tuning into how it should end up. That's an aspect of detachment. The thought of the past, detaching from that and healing from that. When it's going to happen, time, there's detachment from time. So, you know, when we talk about detachment, it's various stages of detachment where you are so in the number 7 energy, where you realize your thoughts are attracting the same, be it lower frequency or higher. So then you'll start seeing 777, and this month is a 7th month. That, you know, in order for you to have your reunion, the union comes from you, not them. Once you're home to self, that's when this mass change happens. You release all hope. It literally feels like you're giving up, but you know it's not. So you do have this kind of detachment of, okay, well, therefore they're with somebody else, so therefore it's over. No, okay, that's not so. Love is not a piece of paper. Love is a spiritual connection, and it's not ownership either. So, you know, if you are in fact a true TF, the connection keeps coming back. It keeps coming back, and it's like Groundhog Day. You're like, when's this ever going to bloody end? The realization is you get your bag of popcorn, you have your holiday when you can, you do your healing, and you realize it's not over. So you don't get triggered as much. You detach from that aspect. The detachment of what's going on right now, your hopes come back when you have faith in self, because you know you're worth it. So self-worth, work on that, feminines. Belief in that. And then when you're looking at time, whatever's happening in your life is divinely guided, and it's part of your process. So, you know, it might be you're looking at your biological clock and you're going, I'm running out of time. Well, you know, we all have actions we can take. We all have choices we can make, but we need to keep ourselves, you know, with our crown on, so that we can have the best possible things attracted to our life, because like attracts like. How can we change something that seems that it's our blood? Look, the change is your vibration. It's like a channel. So, you know, when it comes to your body clock and things like that, obviously you can't change that. That's an essential need. But to look at that scenario with TF and say, hey, friggin' hell, you know, it's getting like, sometimes you may not have children with your twin. I wanted 4 kids. My twin had 4 kids. He didn't want kids. Okay, so that's why with me being a twin, it kind of was sad that I didn't know a lot of the process. The things you fear, you co-create. So tune out of them, and it doesn't happen. You know, if you're thinking of you want to have a child, then live that vibration and be that, and don't panic. That's what I'm saying. But if you work into the panic mode and you work into the third eye of, I'm running out of time, am I going to have a child? When is it going to happen? It doesn't happen, because it's the spiritual blockage, because we're in an egoic mind. So, you know, a lot of times we look at this whole journey and everything in life 2-3D. It actually is a channel. So we're sending signals out to universe. If we believe and it is our vibration, we directly attract. That's as simple as manifestation is. But because our blockages are so heavy, we block it. So it's think it, feel it, keep working on that, detach, and it comes back. They are looking at, you know, letting go of things. So are you, feminine, okay? You're also looking at people trying to manipulate you and not wanting to play games with individuals, because you've had your spiritual wake up and you're changing. Yes, they can. And it's especially if you've had downloads that you're going to. It's not going to happen. It's that while you're fearing it, it doesn't happen. Okay, so don't panic. Disconnect from time. Disconnect from, what do you call it? Disconnect from the fear-based frequency of it. That's all I'm saying. It's not it doesn't happen. Yes, it does. But disconnect from that, because I extended my journey. Number one, because I didn't know I was a TF. Number two, that was my life path. And fear-based frequency. So anything I feared, I co-created within my long journey. Okay, work for feminines and masculines is going to change, as well as, you know, this delay, it's again an egoic state you're letting go of. So let go of things. Trust that the things you're letting go around the Cancer moon, around the Capricorn moon to manifest new, you know, the things you let go of past tense are going to come up in a trigger point with Cancer moon. But the meditation and getting into your feminine energy is coming up. Masculines will be dealing with this as well. I do feel as though they're about to make a major move, and a lot of you will have communication, although this is the communication section of the read for those of you who are in communication, and this side is the ones of you not in communication. A lot of you want your power back, and it's on both sides of the fence, and I do feel masculines really wanting their power back. There can be jealousy projected towards feminines, because you feel you haven't done that, but you actually have, and there can be some frustration of projection going back and forward. A lot of jealousy coming up, and it can be a lot of sexual energy as well between the two counterparts, and just in general. Started about 3 weeks ago, but it has gone on and off and up. There is a blockage at the moment. Now, the blockage is to do with forgiveness. Now, if you want the change, part of the change, with the live style, you won't, unfortunately. For the next few days, I will be live. And it's only because I have moved house. I usually do a video to give everyone updates that I'm going live, but it will be for the next few days I'll be going live. With this energy of forgiveness, something in a sense that has been blocking the path for those of you in communication is in relation to forgiveness of the past, letting it go. It's very hard to. There's various stages of that. There is a heart chakra activation coming up. It will be near the Cancer moon, but it's going to amp up between the 2nd and the 16th. You won't see it. It's to do with the lunar eclipse. The trigger point, trust it. There can also be more communication coming in. If your throat chakra is going, it doesn't have to be you feminine. Now, for a while, what had happened was the energy had disconnected from it being about DM. Now it's turned around again where you're not acknowledging it, but it actually isn't your frequency. So a lot of the projection, the 3D dynamics that's going on has actually been their frequency, not yours, but you're transmuting it. They're energetically feeling it, you're transmuting it. When you detach from that and you allow the process to roll, even if you aren't seeing them, what's going to happen is in the next coming weeks, a lot of throat chakra is going to be coming through with masculines. This will be with person, place, or thing. What the block is, what the healing needs to be, it's going to be coming up and out of them. Because these two cards of intuition and heart are coming up. They're going to find out what they don't love, what they need to let go of, what they need to forgive, and what they didn't see that they had no control over, which is, again, the purge of the ego, and the letting go of something, not wanting to see things anymore, moving away from people, places, and things, because it is a toxic frequency. So they're moving out of this frequency. Those of you who aren't in communication, great ascension symptoms, okay? A lot of you might have been super busy, okay? A lot of you may have been having headaches, especially with your past life records at the back of your head. On the left-hand side of your face, very masculine orientated frequency, it means that it's overactive, okay? So you need to balance both the feminine and the masculine. I've got to remember to take my medication this morning. I'm on antibiotics for my tooth. The intensity of the energy for those of you who haven't been in communication can be coming through from your masculine. Now it's because they're really not happy with what they're interconnected with, regardless of what you're seeing on the 3D. Never believe it. Unless it comes from the horse's mouth, don't believe, because what goes on inside of us, nobody knows. The thought process of what they're going through is very icky. They know that it's a pain body experience. They know what they're directly connecting in with is out of alignment for them, but it's serving a purpose at the moment. Now, they also are following their intuition, which is very similar to those of you in communication. They know what they need to do. They're getting the downloads when it comes to toxic people, places, and things. Also, this desire they have for DF. A lot of ego coming through. Now, this can be in relation to not wanting to admit what it is. And, you know, this has been coming through in the private readings that regardless of communication or not, a lot of what had been coming through in the reads has been this this state that the feminines went through where you were trying to purge the DM, but you were unable to, and it was like an addictive energy. But you knew you weren't in a codependent mode, but the frequency was coming through like you couldn't get this person out of your head. This is really what's going through with DMs right now. Those of you who aren't in communication, they're trying to get it out, but they can't, and it's really bombarding their third eye. Yeah, they're all over the place. It's really bombarding them. It's being very unforgiving towards them. It's also triggering them. They're looking at what they were like in the past. They've got compassion and reverse as a clarifier to the devil. They're regretful of the people they've been dealing with that are toxic. They're also regretful of the manners in which they were directly dealing with you as well. And when it does come to this egoic state and believing that everything's fine, there's a lot of ego coming through with their relationships at the moment, and they're looking at that as well, and they're wanting to free themselves from this situation. They're also wanting to feel quite accepted. But the reality is they're realizing that they haven't been accepting themselves, their true, raw, organic self. They know where these instabilities are coming from. They're really taking great connected awareness of it. They're tapering the way they speak as well and communicate. But I do feel they may communicate with you in relation to this, but they're talking to somebody. They're actually getting downloads about where these instabilities are in their life, especially with the 3 coming through, which is the Trinity. They're actually seeing and having to speak their truth in relation to what's not in alignment with them. But they also know what is unstable. It can be they're having conversations with partners. They're trying to deal with this delicately, but they feel that this is a very delicate situation. It could have been because they're with a tribe. Now, this can be a person with children. It can be a karmic with children. It can also be due to childhood. They can be with nobody at all, but at the same time, it can be due to the fact of a childhood-related trigger, especially since the Cancer Moon energy is coming through. A lot of feminine energy is going to be coming through. This can also be with you guys, feminines, where you may be getting triggered in relation to other feminine energies. But you might have already purged that, but it's coming up again, and you're looking at it going, what's going on here, you know? Am I actually out of alignment? Because you'll come in and out of alignment at times. Self-esteem for them, they're taking their power back, and they're looking at the truth of the matter when it does come to this person, place, or thing. You know, putting their eggs in a basket and going, okay, where do I fit? Where is my tribe? Who is my person? Taking their power back and actually choosing correctly for what they want. They do feel it's going to cause a great deal of gossip. And it's good that the self-esteem cards come up, because I feel regardless of what other people's thoughts, feelings are, they're really taking their self-esteem into account and saying, you know, if it's healthy and it's upright, it means they're going to have the power to do the things that they need to do. You know, sometimes when you know a situation is not for you, sometimes it's not even toxic, but you just know it's not for you, and it can be guilt connected to that due to childhood belief systems. Yeah, small minds, understanding that they're small minds if they're talking crap, but really following their intuition of how to address these areas with these people, places, and things. Okay, how do they feel about you? Yeah, you're in their head all the time. They feel free with you, but at the same time, they know they need to deal with these energies. Now, I'm also going to pull some cards for those of you who are. How many in the chat that are with their twin? Are there any people on board who are with their twin in a romantic sense? That's no good, Dove. That's on their side of the fence. That's not your fault. Hi, mystical, lovely Aries. Anyone in the house who is with their TF? Okay, because there has been in the last 3 weeks quite aggressive energy. Yeah, there's been very interesting energy. It can be directly connected to you. They have felt quite disconnected in general, but it's because they're meditating. Recouping, meditating. Yeah, very. But look, feminines can have been as well due to the trigger points of healthy boundaries. For those of you who aren't in communication, you may have felt this in your own life at the moment, trying to create all these healthy boundaries. It could have come through in frustration. Yeah, because it's reaching a peak point, especially with this Cancer Capricorn nodes and the retrograde. It's like really sifting out and tying up these loose ends. it's been from January onwards. It's been like an uphill energy, work, especially for masculines. Feminines, I'd say probably more so the last 4 months. That has been that ongoing energy. Yeah, it has been easy 3 months. 3 months to 3 weeks, the heaviest, especially for feminines. But masculines had been having ascension symptoms. Okay, let's see in general for masculines and feminines. Yeah, a lot of work, a lot of up in the head, a lot of third eye, looking to the future, but trying to walk away from the past and trying to tie up the loose ends of the past, but seeing there are some pending things coming that they don't know how this is going to go with, but on a break. Yeah, it was intense energy the last few weeks. It's temporary. It is changing, but it's to shift the consciousness. It's to shift the energy within the dynamic. It's also very much correlating with past tense frequencies. So, you know, if you're looking at other videos and they're going, you're going to break up this month, it's like, you're breaking, but you're breaking in a different way. It's breaking some of the old energy core fields. Yeah, just let it be. Try not to take it personal because a lot of old shit's coming up, okay? We've got despair. But that's in the past. But it's still coming up, right? And they're working, but they're looking forward. But they also know there is one big thing coming up, and it's in the slight distance. It's not too far away. And they're like, if I think this has worked, there's still that waiting. Even if you're not hearing about it, even if they're not communicating it, they know. They know this is coming. It's old things. It's something old. Yeah, but it'll be related to a blockage in the path. You know, anything that happens on the 3D is directly connected to something of a spiritual sense, something of a spiritual blockage. Because when we look at it 2-3D, we're in the 3D. And feminines are quite 5D. But it's trying to alchemize it in the 3D and the 5D. But it's the third eye tends to be imbalanced because you're reflecting back. But even if you're in disconnection, you'll find there's a commonality of what's going on in your life to heal it. But it's to heal you so that you're free. Once you're free internally, everything else flows towards you. All these things they're trying to tie up is overwhelming. Yes, angels and guides are helping them at the moment. It's not a happy time. They're tired of being at this lower energy. In the hangman, 3 areas of their life is in the hangman position. Yeah, they were having ascension symptoms the last 3 weeks. This reunion's coming. But they know they have to be in battle mode to protect it. So they're trying to deal with the past tense frequency. I mean, if you look at these cards, it's affecting their health. They're busting their butts, either spiritually or 3D. Not telling you about it because it's all going on in here and in here and in there, the past. Old crap coming up. Messy. Trying to get it together, praying, you know, Jesus, take the wheel. You're going to give me a hand here. A lot of family-related dynamics with the red. I mean, these colour change, but I put red because I know with the transit this month, try and eat some red food groups to keep. Cancer is the planet of family, okay? Base chakra. Again, with the occult, it's feminine energy. You know, balancing certain chakras and checking in with yourself each day is going to help you get into alignment and help you balance. These 3 areas or 3 people or 3 situations is problematic, okay? The lack of speaking of situations is because, you know, it's to upgrade. So feminines will have a descend. You will then recoup. You will then ascend and you'll have more energy. So always check in with your energy. When you're going down, you have your recuperation, you come back up again, that's when they're going down because they're doing the same purge as what you did, but it's on an internal ratio, then it comes to the external. Feminines. And then I better go The next video I do, it probably won't be for a while. I'll try tonight, will be Cancer. Because I do have some clients readings to do, and this is actually my weekend and I'm not getting it. But these will all come to you live at the moment. Wow. Okay. You guys feel change. You feel faithful to this person. You're like, how do I have to show myself to you? I've been good. I've been good, good, good. I'm faithful to you. Why does this keep happening? I'm like waiting like a dog on the shore. I keep coming back. I've been loyal. I've been loyal to, you know, my truth. I've been loyal to the reality of it. But the important thing is to be loyal to self, okay? Be faithful to self. Be good to you. If something isn't working, it's okay. Be yourself. It's not that it's over. It's that a way of dealing for you personally has to be over. So some of the things that you were doing are changing. Some of the things of a way of being, you can't go back to being because you've evolved. That's okay. But you will even outgrow panicking because you just can't be a particular way. It's not that you're a bad person. It's that you've evolved, but loyalty is earned, right? So it's like self-esteem, self-respect. Yes, the love is always there. Yes, the commitment to the journey is there. But you're not wanting to be in a slower frequency anymore. You're like, I'm not going to cry for you, Argentina. It's like I have to get my heart chakra up. I've got to be in my best possible vibration. You'll check in with yourself and know when you're out of alignment, and then you'll be going, and I did this last week. It's like, dang, Yildiz, you're out of alignment. Refocus the energy back onto yourself. The self-talk, right? So it's like getting triggered, trying to create healthy boundaries, and it won't be with TF all the time. It'll be, you'll always see it bloody happening on the external. It's like, reshift the energy back onto you, anchor your energy in, reshift it onto you, and it does balance it out. Home, Cancer energy. Home is where the heart is. Yes, you're faithful to it. You know whether it is, but it's got to come from inside. Home is about you. You are home. If you don't feel home, there's some work to do inside. You could be in a tent. You could be in a shed. You could be under a bridge. When you feel home, you can achieve mountains. You could be changing some things on the home front. Suddenly, you may find that you're shifting things, that you're, and that's to realign the energy in your home. You may be cleansing it. You may be going into hermit mode of nurturing. That's okay because you're preparing. You might be throwing things out, packing boxes. Family-related dynamics are coming up. Especially if you're having a dream about home, it's connected to you. Google it. If you're having a dream about a house, look at the interior of the house. Look at the feeling of the house because it's about your opinion of you and where you are in your life with your safety. Detaching from home, maybe feeling quite hopeless. Yeah. Wanting that fresh start. Potentially some of you being triggered by other people. This can be friends. This can be flirtatious individuals. This can be just memories of the past. Third eye related, past related. Let it go. Bury it. It's not real. It doesn't define you. You're more than that. Nobody can ever be you. And when we're comparing to other people, we're not believing in ourselves that we're worth it. And it's natural. It's natural for that to come up. But to anchor the energy back in and to have that fresh start for yourself and know you're never in competition with anyone else. Nobody can be you. Good bloody luck them trying to. You know, we put ourselves here by our beliefs. So we're purging a sense of beliefs with the Capricorn Cancer energy because it's false. It's not true. You're detaching. Some of you may actually get some love offers, but you need to ask yourself the question. It's not that you can and can't have it. At a stage in the journey, you will attract a high vibration soulmate, but that's to heal, okay? From my experiences, to heal, you will attract karmics, but because the karmic energy lives in you, you directly attract what you believe. When you attract lovers, they can be soulmates. It's because you are healing the belief that you are worth it. I've been there. I've had that. Once you detach from that, you realize that you have been having different relationships. You have been having a toxic relationship with yourself where you attract lower frequency individuals. Again, the karmic energy is you believe. Then you are healing because you can see that you are worth more. So you then separate from TF. You then believe in your head that you are worth a king. You attract theoretically a king, not an emperor. And you experience a way of being, of somebody nurturing you, being good to you, all those things that you directly believed you were worth. This person comes into your life and gives you that. And then you have another spiritual walk in, and you then go, but they're not TF. But because you then changed again, where you realized it wasn't about what they could do financially. It wasn't what they could do emotionally, because you filled your cup. Okay, then it's merely a spiritual choice to have a spiritual connection with the person you feel spiritually connected to, which will be TF. Have a look at what's going on in your life. Any questions? Any questions? Before I go and start my clientele reading, I have one lovely lady waiting for hers, and due to the fact my internet was down, I couldn't get it done, so I'm doing it today. You know who you are, and it's for the Cancer Moon energy, so I'll be doing yours next, my sweet. Read the fine print. We're moving to Mercury retrograde. I don't have a bad feeling. Hi, Luciana. Can't have someone other than TF. Yes, it is, but that's because you see, that's why I mentioned those transitions we have. The people we attract, you will have another transition where you will meet a TF, but they won't be your TF. And then you'll actually, you'll look at them and go, I'm having a deja vu here. Yeah, nah. And that's when you have the acknowledgement that you've changed. And then the complete detachment happens, and that's when union happens. Someone will come towards you similar to your twin, and you'll be like, oh, this has stirred something in me. It's different. I was all good being alone. And then you look at them and go, oh, nah, I ain't going back there. That was 10 years ago. And you detach, and then you live, and then bang, they turn up. That's okay, Femme Coach. And Femme Coach is going, Yildiz. Really? I've attracted a high vibration. Meditational, Luciana. Meditational. You're going to see her soon. If she's not there already, I see her on your couch. Yeah, my TF's on the 8th of the 7th. I feel her in the 3D, honey bun. Have fun with that. Do you miss me, Femme Coach? Yeah, already. I can see them on the couch. To the left of you. Narrow window. Okay, my lovelies. Any of you who weren't able to join the live session, if you have any questions in relation to the path, in relation to the video, please comment below. Thank you for actually liking the video, because it's what shares this information with other individuals. And it does help the channel. You don't have to donate. You know, a simple like does help these videos spread, because YouTube's unique. That's the most politically correct way to say that. Love and light, and I will see you guys later. The next video I do, I'll try and put something up in the community tab. It will be for Cancer, for the eclipse season, and I'll proceed forward with the water signs, and we'll get through the earth and fire signs as well. Love and light.